Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have a fantastic game for you played by Fabiano Caruana against Levon Aronian. This game was played at St. Louis Rapid and Blitz 2018. Now let's see how the game went on. Aronian had white pieces and he started the game with e4, c6 by Caruana. He goes for Caruana defense, d4, d5, and he takes d5. We see the exchange variation. C takes d5, bishop d3. This bishop is instantly occupying the b1 h7 diagonal, not allowing bishop f5. Knight c6, c3, knight f6, bishop f4, bishop g4. By attacking the queen on d1 square, black is intending later to bring his bishop on g6 square, thus offering an exchange of light squared bishops, and later when black's pawns are doubling on g file, this gives a better solidity to black's king side. Queen b3 was played. The queen is instantly coming after the pawn on b7 using the absence of the light squared bishop. Now black has several options to protect the pawn. Usually black is either playing queen d7 or queen c8. In the game we see queen d7, knight d2, e6, knight f3, bishop d6. Caruana is choosing a very sharp line. The thing is that after the exchange of dark squared bishops on d6 square, the queen is no longer protecting the pawn on b7 and white can win it. And this is what Aronian did after queen takes d6. Now let's see, where is black's compensation? Rook b8 was played, queen a6, black castles kingside. By the way, capturing on b2 can be very dangerous because of this devastating bishop b5 move. That's why after queen a6 we see castling kingside. Now comes bishop b5, rook b6, black is not allowing any simplifications. Queen a4, knight e7, knight e5, knight g6, knight takes g4, knight takes g4. These knights will now become a real danger for white king. Right now you can't castle kingside because there is a mating threat. That's why Aronian is first playing h3 in order to kick away the knight. But it turns out that actually this is a mistake. Caruana played knight f6, but instead of moving back the knight, according to the engine, knight takes f2 gives black a huge advantage. If king takes f2, then rook b8. And now if you move back your bishop, then this can even be worse. You have to give up your bishop by playing, for example, queen d1. If rook takes b5, then b3. Or after rook b8, if you play something like bishop d3 trying to save a piece, then as I've already mentioned, this can be even worse. Black can capture on b2 and then queen c7, and black is getting a huge advantage. But this line is a bit risky. It was difficult to find all those possible lines during a rapid game, and Caruana played knight f6, knight b3, e5. Black is instantly trying to open up the center of the board because this white king is still stuck in the center of the board, and we see castling kingside. e4, rook e1, knight h5. White's position is actually getting very dangerous. Bishop f1 was played. Now comes the second knight and queen a5. Actually, this is a terrible mistake, after which the engine gives black -8 advantage. It was better to capture on a7, though after knight f4, rook e3, knight f5, you have to give up your rook and play rook e1. Otherwise, if a move like rook e1, then black can go for e3, and then knight takes h3. This is just an insane line, and then rook g6, and then knight h4, the game is over. Or after knight f5, if rook e1, then after capturing on e3 square, still black has a huge advantage. Though I have to mention again that this could have prolonged white's resistance. But in the game after knight h4 we see queen a5, queen g6, black is pinning the pawn on g2 square, and already knight f3 is the threat. Queen takes d5 was played. Now comes knight f3 check. King h1, and another powerful move by Caruana, knight g3. Look at this amazing position. By the way, instead of playing knight g3, of course you won't go for knight takes e1. In typical positions, it's not a good idea to grab material. You have to go for a checkmate. In this position, actually, queen g3 looks interesting. The idea is that if f takes g3, then knight takes g3 checkmate, but after queen g3, actually white can capture on f3 square, and it turns out that white is managing to defend successfully. That's why after king h1 we see knight g3 check. F takes g3, queen takes g3. Right now there is a mating threat, and at the same time Caruana is sacrificing the second knight, but Aronian didn't accept the sacrifice and played queen e5. Well, if g takes f3, then rook g6 and the game is over. And if you move away your bishop, then this time queen g2 checkmate. That's why after queen g3 Aronian played queen e5. He's giving up the queen, but actually there is not much white can do. Rook d1, now comes f5. Let's just have a look at the position. White has 2 pieces against the queen. Of course, this is not enough. Rook d6, rook takes a7, queen g3. Meanwhile, black is intensifying the pressure on the king's side. Rook b1, now comes f4, knight c5, queen e3. Caruana is bringing his queen on a more active square with a tempo, and then f3. Rook e7, f takes g2 check, bishop takes g2, and after rook h6 Aronian resigned. Right now that threat is rook takes h3 check, or even rook takes f3 can be played. For example, if knight d7, then instead of rook takes h3, according to the engine, rook f3 is even winning faster. Of course, white can give some checks, but in the end of the day it's over. Right now black wants to capture on h3. If rook takes f3, then it takes f3. The game is simply over. That's why after rook h6, finally Aronian resigned. A very beautiful and impressive attack by Fabiano Caruana. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you, and for more games don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video.